Chrono Glitch, Timelines Entwined. Chapter 2, The First Leap. The past week at the quantum physics lab at Stanford University had been filled with precise adjustments and intense focus. The successful prototype test had reignited both Leah and Calvin's sense of purpose. They meticulously tweaked the device's core mechanisms, aiming for greater and more significant displacements. The lab buzzed with the electrifying promise of impending scientific breakthroughs. Today marked a critical milestone in their rigorous research. They were ready to undertake their first major experimental leap, the displacement of a living organism. The subject of their ambitious experiment was a small, nimble white mouse, affectionately named Einstein, in homage to one of history's greatest physicists. Leah prepared the tiny creature for its unprecedented journey with a mix of scientific detachment and a creeping sense of ethical responsibility. Despite her unwavering confidence in her precise calculations and the device's intricate design, Leah couldn't shake a lingering pang of guilt. The unknown variables of sending a living being through time weighed heavily on her conscience. "Are you ready?" Leah inquired, locking eyes with Calvin in a moment charged with palpable anticipation. Calvin nodded affirmatively, his face set in a determined and unwavering expression. Together, they initiated the displacement sequence. A glowing blue light surrounded Einstein, just like it had enveloped the apple in the previous test. With a soft, almost imperceptible pop, the mouse vanished from sight. An oppressive silence fell over the dimly lit lab, heavy with palpable expectation and simmering anxiety. Leah and Calvin fixed their unwavering gazes on the empty cage, the agonizing seconds stretching into long, torturous minutes. Doubt and fear began to seep into the charged air as they contemplated the potential applications of their technology were staggering, rewriting history, preventing future calamities, exploring unknown realms of space and time. Their success had flung open the doors to possibilities that once belonged solely to the realm of imagination. As the lab quieted down for the night, an unfamiliar sensation washed over Leah. It was subtle, like a whisper, a prelude to profound and extraordinary changes her work would unleash. Unbeknownst to her, she stood on the threshold of a journey that would challenge reality. A journey into the heart of time manipulation, where time twisted and converged in unimaginable ways. Leah left the lab that evening with a sense of accomplishment, entirely unaware of the intricate web her groundbreaking breakthrough had already begun to weave. The age of time manipulation had dawned, heralding a future filled with mysteries and opportunities for discovery, myriad possibilities, each more unsettling than the last. Moments before sheer panic set in, a gentle pop signaled Einstein's sudden return, just as curious and lively as before. Leah and Calvin felt a wave of relief. Their experiment had succeeded, leaving Einstein unharmed. This monumental success confirmed their device could indeed safely manipulate the temporal and spatial coordinates of a living organism. Waves of excitement mixed with a profound sense of accomplishment coursed through Leah, but these feelings were tinged with slight unease. The displacement had taken slightly longer than her precise calculations had anticipated, a minor discrepancy perhaps. But in the realm of quantum physics, Even minor discrepancies could herald significant underlying issues. Buoyed by their groundbreaking success, but aware of the new questions, Leah resolved to push forward with the next audacious phase of her research: human trials. As the principal architect of the project, she felt a deep personal responsibility to continue pushing the boundaries of what was scientifically possible. Moreover, she believed that she alone fully comprehended the risks involved. Thus, she volunteered herself as the first human subject. With Calvin at the control panel, Leah stepped into the displacement chamber, a complex array of sensors and emitters designed to envelop her in the field necessary for temporal displacement. Standing there, she felt a mix of dread and excitement. She reviewed her calculations, went over every plan, yet a kernel of doubt persisted, an imperceptible tremor in her stomach. Determination overrode her trepidation. There was no turning back. Calvin's face showed a mix of professional concern and admiration. "Ready to make history, Dr. Carter?" he asked, his voice steady, but not without emotion. "As ready as I'll ever be," Leah responded, her voice a blend of resolve and nervous excitement. She took a deep breath, steadying herself. Calvin activated the sequence. The blue light enveloped Leah, pulsing in rhythm with the lab's ambient hum, casting eerie dancing shadows around the chamber. Then, instantly, she disappeared. The lab fell silent, a silence heavy with anticipation and the gravity of what they had just initiated. Calvin watched the empty space where Leah had stood, his heart racing as the seconds ticked by. Each passing moment stretched his anxiety to its limits. Had something gone awry? Meanwhile, Leah found herself in the bustling heart of a city that was simultaneously familiar and completely foreign. Her first instinct was to verify her geographical coordinates, which, to her bewilderment, confirmed she was still at Stanford's location. Yet everything else was drastically altered. The architecture, the people, the very air she breathed seemed tinged with the echoes of a different era. As she absorbed her surroundings, the stark reality of her situation began to crystallize. She had indeed traveled through space and time, but she had also, somehow, crossed into a parallel timeline where the Cold War had never ended. The implications were staggering, and Leah felt a chill run down her spine as she realized she was not just lost in space and time, but possibly in an alternate reality. She stood, a solitary figure, poised on the precipice of an unknown world, her mission, clear yet daunting, to find a way back home, not just to her own time, but to her own reality. The journey ahead promised to profoundly challenge every ounce of her ingenuity, strength, and unwavering resolve.